Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Before we start, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep creating better and better content for you. At the end, share your feedback or any insight you had while listening. Let's begin. Every year, many people say, "This year will be different." New year, new month, new notebook, new motivation. But when you look closely, you see something uncomfortable. It is not really a new year. It is the same year being repeated again, with small changes on the surface. Same habits, same fears, same excuses, same results. We like to believe that time will change us. We tell ourselves, next month it will be easier. Next year I will be more disciplined. In the future I will be more confident. But time, by itself, does not change anything. What changes your life is not the calendar. What changes your life is you. Nothing changes if you do not change. Part 2. The comfortable blame game. One reason it is so hard to change is because there is always someone or something we can blame. We say, my boss is the problem. My country is the problem. The economy is the problem. My childhood is the problem. My age is the problem. My personality is the problem. And sometimes, these things are real. They make your journey harder. They create limits. They create pressure. But here is the danger. If everything is the fault of something outside you, then you are powerless. You become a spectator of your own life. You wait for the country to improve, the boss to change, the economy to grow, your fear to disappear. Until then, you stay the same. Blame feels powerful in the moment. It gives you a clear enemy. But in the long term, blame steals your power. Because if they must change first, then you can do nothing now. Taking responsibility is not saying, everything is my fault. It is saying, not everything is my fault, but my reactions, my habits, my effort are my responsibility. If I want a different life, I must make different choices. Again, nothing changes if you do not change. Part 3. How this shows up in your English. Let us bring this directly to your English. Maybe you say things like, my English is stuck. I study, but nothing changes. I listen a lot, but I am always the same. And sometimes you add, native speakers speak too fast. My teacher is not good. My job is too busy. I do not have anyone to practice with. Some of these may be true, but look deeper. Ask yourself, what exactly have I changed in the last 6 months about how I learn English? If your routine is basically watching content passively, understanding a little, feeling inspired, and then doing nothing different, you cannot expect a different result. If you never practice speaking, never write, never review vocabulary, never create a real plan, you are not stuck. You are repeating. You are reproducing the same inputs, so your brain produces the same outputs. It is not that English does not work for you. It is that your approach has not changed. You want new results with old behavior. It does not work. If you want your English to change, your relationship with English must change. How you study, how often you show up, how you deal with fear, how honest you are with your effort. Nothing changes in your English if you do not change the way you are learning and using it. Part 4. The illusion of effort that does not move you. Sometimes you feel, I am trying so hard, but nothing changes. So you feel tired, frustrated, unlucky. But ask honestly, where is my effort going? There is a kind of effort that looks intense but does not move your life. For example, complaining is effort. Thinking about your problems is effort. Feeling guilty is effort. Watching one motivational video after another is effort. Comparing yourself to others is effort. You end the day mentally exhausted, so you think, I gave everything. I am doing my best. But your actions did not really change. You spent energy, but not in the places that create transformation. With English, this happens a lot. You consume content in English, follow English profiles, save tips, feel bad about your level, say, I need to study more. All of that feels like work. But if we measure, how many minutes did you actually speak? How many sentences did you actually write? How many times did you actually put yourself in a real conversation? Often the answer is very little. So the brain says, English is not working. But the truth is, you are not doing the work that changes you. Real change effort is uncomfortable. Speaking out loud and hearing your mistakes. Asking questions when you do not understand. Reviewing vocabulary again and again. Showing up to practice when you feel tired or afraid. The question is not, am I tired? The question is, am I tired from doing the things that actually change me? Or from thinking, worrying, and avoiding? Part 5. Why change feels so hard, and why it is still possible. Change is hard for simple reasons. First, your brain loves what is familiar. Even if your habits are bad, they feel safe. Your brain thinks, I know how this works. I know this level of pain. Let us stay here. New habits, new behavior, new risks create uncertainty. Your brain reacts. Danger. Let us go back to the old pattern. Second, change often feels slow. You start a new behavior and expect fast, obvious results. You practice English for 2 weeks and expect to feel fluent, to feel confident. But in real life, progress is subtle. At first, you do not feel different, so your mind says, see, this is useless, it is not working, go back to what you did before. Third, change kills some identities. If you change, you must say goodbye to stories like, I am just lazy. I am just bad at languages. I am just shy. I am just inconsistent. These stories are painful, but they are familiar. They give you an explanation. If you change, you lose the excuse. You become responsible for a bigger life. That is scary. So your mind resists. Understanding this does not make change easy, but it makes it normal that it feels hard. The point is, hard does not mean impossible. Hard means old you is fighting to stay alive. Nothing changes if you do not change, and change will feel uncomfortable because you are walking away from the person you were yesterday. Part 6. A simple question to break old patterns. You do not need to change your whole life at once. You need to interrupt your automatic pattern. One powerful way is with a simple question. When you face a repeated situation, ask, what would I normally do here? And what could I do instead if I really wanted things to change? For example, with English. Normally, in meetings, you stay silent. Anew you could. Say one short sentence or ask one small question. Normally, when you are tired, you skip English. Anew you could. Do 3 minutes of practice instead of 0. Normally, when you do not understand, you pretend you did. Anew you could. Say, sorry, could you repeat that more slowly? Normally, when you feel ashamed about your English, you avoid it completely for days. A new you could. Accept the emotion and still do a small practice. You do not need to be extreme. You just need to break the pattern. The old pattern says, same situation, same reaction. Change says, same situation, slightly different reaction. That slightly different is where a new life begins. Part 7. A practical change, one thing, routine for English. Now let us make this concrete for your English journey. Think of it as a change one thing routine. Step 1. Choose one area where you are tired of your own story. Maybe, I never speak in meetings. I always forget vocabulary. I never practice speaking alone. I always avoid conversations. Pick one. Step 2. Decide one behavior you will change for the next 2 weeks. Make it small and specific. For example, for the next 2 weeks, every weekday I will speak in English alone for 10 minutes about my work. Or, for the next 2 weeks, in every meeting, I will say at least one sentence in English. Or, for the next 2 weeks, I will review 10 words every night before I sleep. Do not change everything. Change one thing and protect it. Step 3. Attach it to a moment of your day. Right after breakfast, right after work, right before bed, right before lunch, concrete time, concrete place. Step 4. Track your actions, not your feelings. Every day mark, did I do it or not? You do not ask, did I feel motivated? Was it perfect? Was I confident? The only question is, did I show up? Feelings will go up and down. Your new behavior must continue even when emotion does not help. Step 5. After 2 weeks, ask 2 questions. What changed in my skills? And what changed in the way I see myself? Maybe your English improved a little. But more importantly, you start to see yourself as someone who can decide and follow through. This identity change is the real engine of long-term transformation. Nothing changes if you do not change, but when you change even one behavior and you keep it, everything around that area starts to move. You have reached the end of nothing changes if you do not change. Here on English Rise. Today, you saw that. Time alone does not transform you. Blame does not move you. Dreams without new behavior do not build a new life. You understood that. If you repeat the same habits, you repeat the same year. If you want new results with the same actions, you are secretly hoping for magic, not change. Applied to English, you saw that. You are not stuck if you are doing the same things. You are simply repeating a pattern. Your level grows when your behavior grows. More honest effort, more uncomfortable practice, more responsibility for your process. From now on, when you feel the frustration of nothing changes, turn the question around and ask, what exactly have I changed? Then choose one small behavior that the old you would never protect, and start there. It may feel slow. It may feel uncomfortable. But those small, consistent changes are how you stop living the same year again and again, and start building a different future with the only real tool you have, the person you decide to become.